There is no victory without sacrifice. I love that quote. That quote has been top of mind to me lately, given the things that are happening in this world in my personal and in my professional life. I think about some of the great stories, the great films that I've enjoyed. Star Wars, for example. In A New Hope, the original film that came out in 1977, Obi-Wan Kenobi had to sacrifice himself so that Luke could be inspired and that Obi-Wan could actually mentor him and encourage him so that he could ultimately rise up, become a Jedi Knight, and overthrow evil. In The Matrix, one of my favorite films of all time, Morpheus, the great sensei of the Matrix film, he had to bust through a wall and sacrifice himself to the agents so that Neo, who wasn't quite ready yet to be the hero, could be inspired to go on that hero's journey and ultimately overcome the agents and set people free from the Matrix. And I think of Memorial Day here in the United States, where we remember those who have sacrificed themselves on the battlefields of the great wars of our time to be able to afford us in this country to have the great freedoms that we have. And I think about the Easter holiday that Christians celebrate, where Jesus Christ came to give up his life for his sacrifice of his life was for the sins of all mankind for all time, so that man might be reunited to God and have everlasting life in heaven. That's the promise of Easter. I think about all those different stories, and it reminds me of how important being realistic about the sacrifices I need to make in my life are necessary for me to be able to achieve the areas that really require victory in my own personal and professional life today. So what I'm wondering is, what am I willing to sacrifice in order to help achieve the victories that are most important to achieve in my life? And if not in this season, in my lifetime, right? There's three questions I've been asking myself. Number one, what do I need to stop doing? What do I need to stop doing? There are some sacrifices by my activities and by my choices that I probably need to stop doing to free up my time, to sacrifice those, get those out of the way, so that I can focus on pursuing the victories in my life that need to be pursued. Number two, what do I need to stop believing? Sometimes I have beliefs that just simply aren't true about myself, about my potential, about my priorities, about my focus. I need to stop believing those so that I can start believing the things that matter most and focus my full attention and my full everything towards being victorious in different areas of my life. And number three, what do I need to stop saying yes to? I tend to say yes to a lot of things that ultimately aren't that important. One example is television. I found great freedom in saying no to watching television every night. Just freeing up that hour or 2 hours has been so helpful to either provide for more sleep or more opportunities to read or engage with my family. That's a sacrifice, something I've had to say, stop saying yes to, so that I could actually focus on what matters most and achieve the victories that are most important in my life. So for you, what's most important in your life? What are some questions that you can ask yourself? What are sacrifices that you need to make in order to achieve the victories that are most important for you to achieve now, in this season, or in the scope and the span of your lifetime?